Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Let's Talk with Maryam Ehsani. It's great to have you back. Today I want to unfold the question, are children more clingy during the Covid-19 pandemic? Do you feel that your young children have become more needy and clingy during this period? Many parents that I interacted with online since the start of the pandemic shared their concerns about their children being more clingy and how they can manage these behaviors during this time. Whether it's a baby who cries every time the parent is not around or in a different room, or a toddler who clings to their parent's leg while they are busy with other work from home activities. First of all, before I start, I just need to reassure you that the clinginess is very normal behavior, especially during a time like this. Young children look to the parents and caregivers for safety and protection. Now, what is the definition of clinginess? The behavior is referred to a child who has a strong emotional or behavior reaction to being separated from their parents or caregivers. Of course, not all children go through the clinginess cycle. Some can show clingy behavior at any stage up to late primary school. Infants may cry to let their parents know they don't like being separated. Toddlers or older children may cry, cling, or even have a full meltdown if the parent is leaving them alone. And when I say alone, it can be as basic as you going to the other room or going to the kitchen. I know you would think, why is this subject relevant during the COVID-19 pandemic? Unfortunately, as I said earlier, many parents have been experiencing these behaviors more than ever and can't seem to be able to have 5 minutes alone without their children being around them. As we all know that we are not going through normal times, and many things have changed and we had to adjust to a new normal. As adults, we had to adjust to many different things happening around us. But we need to think about long-term plan. When nurseries and school reopen, when we start seeing extended families and friends, how would clingy children survive the separation of parents while performing their daily activities? Of course, parents can start helping their children through periods of clinginess by acknowledging and accepting their feelings that comes with the behavior. Studies have shown that children can show signs of clinginess due to a fear of being away from their parents, which is called separation anxiety, or because of a stranger anxiety where they don't feel comfortable being around other people. But during the COVID-19 pandemic, we are spending more time together as a family, and children are getting used to having the parents around them all the time. Now, why do they show a sign of clinginess when the parents are around them all the time? That's the question to ask. Because if they have a fear of separation and you are always around them, so why they are still showing signs of clinginess? As we know, during this time, it has brought many uncertainties and fear to many lives, especially children. Children are grieving for the things that they have lost, such as seeing their friends, going to school, and being more active outdoor. So now, being clingy can be a sign of fear and a sign that they are trying to seek safety to avoid stress. So it's not only about you leaving them alone, as we are all spending time more together, but rather they can be showing signs of clinginess due to the stress or due to the grieving of what they have lost. Some parents try to push back and encourage young children to be more independent during their playtime and other activities. For some children, this may work, but for others, this may cause the clinginess to go even more. A child should experience certain activities independently from a young age. It is something that needs to be taught to be independent at a very young age. However, every child is different, as I said earlier, and we need to first embrace their feelings and try to help by giving them confidence that we are going to be around and be there for them and make sure they feel secure in order to avoid separation anxiety and encourage a secure attachment. I'm not trying to say that you should be always attached to your child just because they are showing signs of clinginess, but rather show them that you are around when they need you and try to reassure them that they can stay safe even if you are watching them from far. So it's about building confidence. And this is something that we need to learn at a young age. So I prepared a few tips for you today in order to help you deal with the behavior of clingy children. First of all, tip number 1. Do not punish or ignore their clingy behavior. I know some parents, they have been telling me that we try to ignore their feelings, we try to get away with what we are doing and let them behave the way they are behaving. I can assure you this is not going to do anything good to you or to them. It's more about acknowledging their feelings and trying to be there for them and to make them understand that sometimes they need to stay in one spot and play on their own while you are in the other room or while you are in the kitchen doing other stuff or while you're working online. So managing your response to your toddler's clingy behavior is important. It's important how do we react to them. If every time they are being clingy you just jump and try to be there for them, then they will relate this as the more clingy they will become, the more they can have of you being around. So instead of ignoring and punishing them or allowing yourself to get upset, go back to the reason behind the behavior. What has caused this behavior? And usually if we think deep down, there are many different factors that can affect children being more clingy. And especially during a time like this with the Covid-19 around. Tip number 2, understand how they feel and show empathy. I wish you can say that, I wish I could stay with you right now and watch your favorite cartoon together, but I have to leave for work. I have to sit in the other room and do my work. So have an agreement with the children that while you are sitting here watching cartoon, I will be doing my work, and once I finish my work, then we will meet again. Of course, that would depend on the age range of your young children. But having a sense of communication, having an agreement between you and your child will help to improve the clingy behavior in children. Tip number 3. Encourage independence, but don't push too much for it. Perhaps try to figure out what are the things that they feel comfortable doing on their own. And how can you contribute to make them feel more safe and comfortable on their own? So if they are, for example, drawing or painting, they still want to look at you being around. Or some children won't do any drawing or painting if the parents are not sitting with them. But if we have an agreement that I will be around, you can look at me from far, that will give them a sense of security. And also a sense of that they are still getting the attention needed while you are performing your daily activities. So encourage independence, but step by step. I know many parents would like to really see their children very independent from a young age, but we need to develop that behavior. And it's not going to happen overnight. It requires a lot of efforts from your side. So if we are going to encourage independence, we need to ensure that first we build confidence in them. We reassure them. The next tip is don't forget to praise them. I know we all like that. We like to be praised for what we do. Acknowledging. So it's also a good idea to give rewards at times to encourage good behavior. It doesn't have to be chocolate, it doesn't have to be ice cream, but it's about really showing that if you can be on your own for 5-10 minutes, do your drawing and play your game, then we can watch your favorite cartoon tomorrow or later on. So always praise them and acknowledge that they have put the effort in staying and independently during their playtime. And the last tip that will always help, not only during the COVID-19 pandemic to help manage the clinginess behavior, but rather as an overall, try to spend time with others. I know it has been difficult since the lockdown and since the restrictions, but sometimes these social interaction can be done online while the children are around, so they can get to see others, the grandparents or the auntie or these different relatives or friends, and not purely seeing you as a parent every day and not seeing anyone else. So we need to really prepare them for when all of this will start going back to normal. Because otherwise, if we think about it, that we are now during a situation that needs to be managed very carefully. We cannot leave everything until everything goes back to normal. So start managing the clinginess and the children who behave in this way step by step by really acknowledging their feelings and being there for them and by encouraging independence. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please don't forget to rate and share it with friends and families who might find it useful during this time. You can always contact us on our social media platform at ChildSafeME, or you can drop us an email at info@childsafeme.com to tell us what you would like the next episode to be and how we can support you. Thank you very much and have a lovely day. Stay safe.